Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an interesting article on Yahoo News, put out by the Daily Dot and written by Lanita Mulbazi, titled, "Starbucks Employees Sue Company Over Its Dress Code. It's unfair that a billion-dollar company puts this burden on workers." I'll include a link to the article below. I encourage you to check it out. According to the author, Starbucks is facing legal heat again, this time not over unions or strikes, but over what its employees are allowed to wear on the job. Workers across multiple states say the coffee giant's new dress code forced them to shell out their own money for clothes, and they want that money back. Well, I can sympathize with how some of these Starbucks employees may feel. I was once a public school teacher. At the time, I had a master's degree, and my starting salary was only $29,000. I struggled with the fact that the school wanted us to dress professionally, yet they didn't pay a really large salary. At the time, I was also paying for my graduate school tuition because I was pursuing Ph.D. courses in the evening. I really had to make my dollar stretch as far as possible. I often purchased my wrinkle-free shirts and wrinkle-free dress pants at Walmart. Sometimes I would purchase used clothing at Goodwill. Once I purchased a used pair of shoes at Goodwill, and I ended up getting athlete's foot from those used shoes. I learned my lesson, and I didn't buy any more used shoes. I did purchase some new shoes at Walmart, but they fell apart prematurely. I hope that Walmart has sourced better shoes in the decades since then. I did end up having to invest in some decent shoes, and that was well worth the investment. But I understand how some of these Starbucks employees may feel. I don't know what Starbucks is paying these days, but I'm sure that some of these folks have a hard time making their dollar stretch as far as possible, especially given all of the inflation that we have experienced in our country in recent years. Getting back to the article, the author said, back in April, Starbucks announced that beginning May 12th, workers in all North American stores would be required to follow a stricter set of attire rules. Instead of the looser guidelines baristas had previously had, the new policy requires solid black crew necks, collared shirts or button-ups paired with khaki, black, or blue denim bottoms. Shoes have to be in a muted tone like black, gray, brown, navy, tan, or white. Well, it doesn't sound unreasonable. However, I am sure there are Starbucks employees that may not own a black crew neck collared shirt, and they may not own pants that meet that criteria. So they may have to spend some of their own money to acquire these clothes. I have to wonder why Starbucks doesn't provide uniforms if they want consistency across all of their locations. Prior to going to college, I worked at a factory for approximately 2 years. The factory provided uniforms. We had this really thick, durable material for our pants and our shirts. We had dark blue pants, and we had a light blue striped short sleeve shirts with our name on them. We were provided with multiple sets of these uniforms. Once they got dirty, we would bring them back to the factory, throw them in carts, and the laundry company would pick them up and clean them. And then we would be provided with new, clean shirts and pants the next week. And it was great. They were on hangers, and we could take those home and change into them the next day. And I was working in a very dirty factory environment. There was cutting fluid mist all over the factory. There was also cutting oil mist all over the factory. A lot of the parts that we handled were oily and greasy. And we would often get metal shavings in our clothes, and I would often get metal shavings in my skin. And when I would come home, I would have to take a shower with Dawn dish soap just to get all of the oil and grease off my skin. I can't imagine how long the laundry machines would have lasted if I had to wash all of those pants and shirts at home. So it was really nice that the factory took care of all that. And I didn't have to worry about wearing out the clothes. If the pants or the shirt got a hole, well, the company would replace them. I didn't have to worry about staining them either, because the uniforms did get stained. So I wonder why Starbucks doesn't think about doing this. They could have a uniform look across the entire country, and they wouldn't have to impose upon the employees to purchase their own attire. And this way, they don't have to worry about policing the uniform policy either, because they're providing the uniforms. Just something that Starbucks may want to consider. I understand it would cost them some money, and when you multiply how much it would cost to supply uniforms at one location by all of the locations that they have in America, I'm sure it would add up to be a lot. But it might cut down on a lot of problems, like what we're reading about in the news today. Apparently, Starbucks has also banned theatrical makeup and nail polish, and they've limited facial piercings to one small stud or hoop. Now, I'm sure that does not make some employees happy. There are a lot of people who want to be able to express their individuality through their makeup, their nail polish, and their piercings. And now it appears as though they will be limited in what they can do at Starbucks. I'm curious what you folks think about all this. Do any of you work for a company that has strict dress code rules? Have you ever had to go out and spend your own money on clothing in order to comply with the company policy? If so, tell us about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.